Okay, so let's look at what the stories on the front and back pages. We quickly have to look at some others quickly. Okay.
You do the finder?
Yeah, no, I just do the Ghanaian Times.
Right.
You have a couple of messages?
Yes, I do. I have lots of messages, actually. Maybe let me just read this one. We, the people of Asante Achima Gogo, with no water since November last year. And that's from Gershon. No water.
The Fulanis cut the pipe?
Well, okay. I have a very unhappy viewer. Says Roland and Mamabi, I stopped WhatsApping you because you don't like reading my messages.
Oh.
Anyway, good morning. Inusa in Salaga. And Inusa, you know what I like about your message and you? It's like, okay, even though we don't read your messages, which is very unfortunate.
You still sent one to tell us.
Like, you can't afford not to miss the show. So we like you. Thank you very much. And apologies if we don't always read your messages. Yeah. All
right, so we start with the Ghanaian Times has on the front page. Look at this one. Ghanaian Times has on the front page 500 Ghanaian women cry for help from Kuwaiti camp.
Hey, this issue.
When you get to watch, or you get to Dubai, you get to watch the videos of how the immigrants are camped. They are camped outskirts of the main city. So you will not get to see the way, and then they go through all these agencies. So those agencies charge management fees, and then they will have to pay all those. And sometimes they live in squalor, very poor conditions. Yeah, very very poor conditions.
But you know,
it's been a criticism of the West on Dubai and some of those Middle Eastern countries that have oil.
You know what is fascinating?
I don't.
And why I'm not really into the subject anymore. No. Because
people still go.
The people who go, they would always want to go again. That's what we don't see. Listen, we've had a full conversation on this subject. We had people calling our front desk and saying they want to go, they want to go, they want to go. We had somebody who runs a recruitment agency who takes people to, I think, Kuwait and Saudi Arabia and all these places. And we've had stories of horrific experiences that people have also had to go through. So we put these two issues side by side. People still want to go. Wow. And people kept calling and saying that we want to go and experience it. We want to save some money and come back. So I don't know, it's just it's a choice. It's a choice, honestly.
Well, that's great. Let's see how it goes once they get. I think a child mate of mine, a friend of mine who is in Saudi Arabia or someplace like, or Abu Dhabi. Or
how many people didn't we bring back from Libya who went back again?
True. You have a point. You have a point. Policeman grabbed for recruitment scam, flees from custody. We also have court orders, EP church property returned, and the Global Evangelical Church, which was the loser in all this, is not taking this lightly at all.
The Global Evangelical Church.
Yes. You know, the original one was the Evangelical Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
And then the Global Evangelical.
So that's the comma?
No, the Global Evangelical Church, Presbyterian Church, came out of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church. And so I think some of the churches, etc., of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church was seeded by the Global Evangelical Presbyterian Church. Now, the EP, first, the original EP, took the issue to court, and then the court ultimately adjudicated and decided that some of the churches needed to go back to the EP.
You know, when I was in Angloga, there was the issue of Presbyterian Church of Ghana and Presbyterian Church, Ghana.
Really?
Yes. So is it the same? Is this, okay, we're going to pull the story up and read the details for you, but I'm still, I'm not clear in my mind.
Eventually, one of the Ghana or comma tend to become global.
Oh, okay. All right. So that's what it is.
So with metamorphose from that very point.
Because when this court issue came up, I was just thinking, okay, so what happened to this comma and off issue?
Global. Talking about.
But I am off anyway.
From off.
Yes, I am Presbyterian Church of Ghana.
Okay. Aggrieved Polytechnic students asked to be calm, and we have investing medical training. Center spread, though, it's something I want us to double in and also tend to have a lot more scrutiny about. Ghana sweeps WASSCE Awards, and interestingly, Mamavi, since 2008, according to what we have, Ghana, you know, the West African Examination School Certificate is organized across West Africa, including the Gambia, except Nigeria.
Yeah.
And Ghanaian students have been doing well among all the students in the West African sub-region, or who have who are within the remit of the West African Examination Council. And I think that is laudable, because, you know, we changed our current system to suit the system that is across the West African sub-region, that is the senior school, secondary school cycle.
Yeah.
And I think we've got some of the best students in our country as well.
Yeah, but we still have to be hard on ourselves, because, you know,
no, we have to be, because
within the country we say we're not doing well.
We need to have equity.
Yeah,
There's no equity. We have top level students who do very well, but sometimes we have a lot more who don't do very well. As a result of that, they don't get to find their place.
Exactly.
Not only in the job market, but also in schools, tertiary schools, and education is the beacon for.
Is everything.
Yes, when you're educated, you tend to do a lot, or you have a lot more opportunities. Even if you have the little opportunity, you can expand. Yeah, you can turn around a lot of things. I mean, that's the basic.
I agree.
You can imagine if we had a lot more educational people, educated people, we wouldn't have people taking advantage of a lot more of us.
Yeah, it's true.
I mean, that's the most important thing. Yes.
I agree. You're through with the Times?
I think I'm through.
All right, let me do the Daily Graphic newspaper. No deal with Smarties in $92 million electrification project. Comes with the picture of a Deputy Minister of Power, Mr. John Jinap, on the front page of the paper. 186 teachers in trouble for using fake certificates. Impersonation. That story on page 3 comes with a picture of Mr. Jacob Kaur, the Director General of the Ghana Education Service. Also, implement rules on political activities. The PPP seem to be calling, and Ni Alote Brewhamon, who is the chairman of the Progressive People's Party, is on the front page of the paper. The back page, USAID provides 52 farmers with maize, shellers, and 34 vocational training institute to be retooled. Let's get to the education issue, which is on page 3, a bit of it for you in the paper. And it says that the Ghana Education Service has handed over 186 teachers from 2 regions to the Bureau of National Investigations, the BNI, for their alleged use of fake certificates and impersonation. 175 of the affected teachers are from the Bono Ahafo region, while the remaining 11 are from the Volta region. The head of the Public Relations Directorate of the GES, Reverend Jonathan Bete, who disclosed this to the Daily Graphic, said the GES has been in collaboration with the BNI, the Controller and Accountant General's Department, to conduct a nationwide verification and validation exercise of its staff. He says the Controller and Accountant General had blocked the salaries of the affected teachers while investigations were ongoing. And I say, publish the names of these teachers. Publish the names of these teachers. Okay, that's it for the Daily Graphic. Roland, you've got another paper?
I've got the Daily Guide. Front page, Bawumia challenges Mahama. NDC chops 90 billion Ghana cedis. We also have Bukum, Banku Cage, Al-Qaeda alert, President meets security couples, and then DKM seeks bailouts. Let's look at this about Bawumia and all the things that have been going on about the controversy and the reply by the president. That very interview with TV3 says the new Patriotic Party's vice presidential candidate, Dr. Mahamudu Bawumia, has taken on President John Dramani Mahama about the state of Ghana's public debt, calling on the president to have a proper briefing on the true state of borrowing that has occurred in the last 7 years under the NDC administration. For the records, Dr. Bawumia said within the last 7 years alone under this NDC government, Ghana's total debt ballooned from 9.5 billion Ghana cedis left behind by the Kufuor-led administration to a projected 99 billion Ghana cedis as of 2015. What is clear is that 90% of Ghana's total debt since independence has been accumulated under this NDC government between 2009 and 2015. Okay. So those are the stories we have. And they said DKM seeks bailouts. And so...
From where? The IMF? DKM from IMF?
DKM, not IMF.
Ah, well, okay. If you're in Ghana, you talk
apparently,
bailouts.
It says a financial expert has added his voice to calls on government to provide a bailout for DKM Diamond Microfinance Company.
We have to see them commit to something. You know what I mean? They have to commit to something because they've got lawyers fighting for them as well, you know, defending them and exactly. So we can't bail you out when you're all defensive. Let's do the final newspaper. Teachers given March 18 deadline to submit documents. 15,000 Ghana cedis bribery saga. Iyoko Cage's top official of Wassa Assembly. Mahama needs proper briefing on Ghana's debts. That's according to Dr. Baumia. Cement. Ghana imports over 1 million tons annually. That full story on page 2. Let me read a little bit of each of the headlines for you. This one on page 2. It says that the Economic and Organized Crime Office has arrested Mr. Frank Taylor, District Finance Officer of Wassa Amenfi East District Assembly, for bribing Iyoko officers who are investigating alleged procurement fraud at the assembly. Mr. Taylor and 2 others, Aziz Jafaru, District Coordinating Director, and Felix Esiedu, District Works Engineer, were interdicted for the alleged involvement in the procurement fraud. You can continue to read how Mr. Frank Taylor, who is the District Finance Officer of the Wassa Amenfi East District Assembly, bribed some Iyoko officers. A man who was being investigated. Interesting. This other story says the desire to import everything which has a negative impact on the economy, especially the strength of the local currency and the promotion of buy made in Ghana product, is not ending anytime soon, as the country imports more than 1 million tons of cement per annum. The full details of the story is also here. The final one will be on page 4. It has a lot to do with teachers, and we get a lot of questions from teachers. So let me just read a bit of this for you. Teachers given March 18 deadline to submit documents. And the story says that teachers and education workers whose salary arrears have not been paid have been given a March 18, 2016 deadline to submit the relevant document to the Ghana Education Service headquarters for onward submission to the validation team for validation and subsequent payment. Now, there are a lot of questions that we've also been asking. We'll try and find answers to it. When NAGRAT says that it has suspended the validation process, what does it mean, and what does this deadline also mean to that process? We're speaking to NAGRAT and then the Education Ministry or the Ghana Education Service on this matter later on the program. Roland, you've got anything that you're sharing?
So we have the Daily Dispatch, Ben Efson's Daily Dispatch. It has on the front page, apologize to Green Street Els. CPP Wahala. Daily wants Samia. Some time ago, I think last week, was saying that allegedly, my old man, Uncle Kwabna, Wapome, that Ivor was sponsored by the ruling NDC in his last presidential primary. We'll see how that goes. 95% of road contractors are Ghanaians, according to President John Dramani Mahama, and leave Wampers out of drug barons case. British government and High Commissioner.
I was just saying that if the NDC sponsored him, so what?
Yeah.
You know?
You know, Ghana, in politics, one thing I've known is that having covered elections since 2000, we always have had sore losers. In 2000, when the NDC lost, I couldn't imagine a government in power losing, the party that had government in power losing. And they were all about and why they lost and things like that. We've always, 2008, witnessed same. And in 2016, if it should happen.
Same is coming up?
Yeah.
If somebody wants to sponsor you, so what? This message says, good morning, Roland Mamavi. I love your show and I love to contribute on your discussions,
Thanks.
but you don't read my messages.
And we're just reading this one.
Can't find if the current online recruitment of graduate teachers is true.
Is that his comment?
Samuel from Wali Wali, he's asking if there's some online recruitment.
I remember we've been reading your comment.
Samuel from Wali Wali. And unemployed university graduates with disability. Well, we have not heard of any online recruitment. You have to be careful about online stuff.
And then we're being told by the police, especially, and the army and GES, etc., they are not recruiting. So please, The GES, there's something on social media that they are doing some recruitment. Have you seen it?
GES? No, I haven't seen it.
I have seen it.
Okay.
Or from the last week, I've been seeing consistently from other portals. All right. So we also have remittances drop despite recovery in overseas funds transfer. Vice President calls for stronger partnership with India, and then we have second power ship 70% complete car power. Now the story.
Yeah, but before that, you know, I was asking about the comma, and then somebody sent a message. Selassie Kyra says the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, comma, has now turned into Global Evangelical Church.
Great.
So you
I was
right?
telling you
yeah,
that.
You were telling me.
But
let's go to this landmark ruling because the whole High Court, in a default judgment, has ordered the Global Evangelical Church to return all properties belonging to the Evangelical Presbyterian Church of Ghana. The court, presided over by Justice Patrick Bayer, said Monday, March 14, that chapels and manses, including those of Jelukopwa in Keta, Angloga, Dabala, Akachi, Teshinogwa, and Obuase, which are currently being occupied by the Global Evangelical Church, should be returned to the EP Church. The Global Evangelical Church and the Evangelical Presbyterian had engaged in a fierce fight, including physical assault, over these properties. The fight between the two churches began after the Global Evangelical Church broke away from the EP Church due to constitutional disagreements on the terms of office of the moderator and doctrinal differences about 26 years ago. The Global Evangelical Church took possession of some chapels belonging to the EP Church after the breakaway. A group of members of the Evangelical Presbyterian Church, called Defenders of the Faith of the EP Church, filed a suit at the High Court on August 19, 2015, seeking an order for recovery of all properties. Leader of the group that took the court action, Fred Goba Tenge, told Joy News that the EP Church is happy the Almighty God has ruled.
Broke away to form a church on the offense. They still continue to cling onto our property. No amount of talking or mediation or reconciliation over church to solve any problem. Chief of Ho, people from Germany, Christian Council, for all of them together, but they never yielded. Finally, after so many court attendances, we were able to overcome first the late case, which was adjudged in favor of the EP Church. But still, the Global Evangelical Church, which name was adopted by them after the court ruled in our favor, continued to worry us, the main church. They have thrown stones at us, poured toilet in our wells, used sanctions on us, but we persisted. What is for Caesar to be for Caesar? We continued the court process for almost 26 years now, and today, at the High Court, the court ruled in our favor that the properties of the EP Church should be handed over to the mother church. That when you break away from a church, they have not even a fee to pay for the chapel.
Okay, for those of us who go to the EP Church of Ghana, you know, we're excited about this ruling. But somebody's asking a very curious question on WhatsApp on 056800,000. Mama V and Roland, why should our church leaders tell us to build our treasures in heaven and not on this earth, but be struggling for property themselves? God have mercy on us. That's from Dan Otanku at Kwando.
Very interesting.
Yeah, very interesting.
I love
question,
that.
Yeah.
And you know, some of our church leaders are some of the richest we have around.
Yeah. And we don't question their riches, do we?
They don't even pay taxes on them.
No, that's why I say, listen, Roland, work hard, though. Work hard and enjoy, because God says
I should work hard and be a preacher. I think
God.
I talk well. I talk well. I just need to study the Bible a lot more.
No, it's
be able to quote it, paraphrase it, quote it, rough.
Are you saying for money, like you'll be doing for money?
I'll be a teacher. I know, because God has not given me the gift to
be a teacher and win
miracles.
souls for Christ. That would be fantastic.
I can win souls for Christ.
Yeah,
I've been able to win over on
but
a
I'm
lot
saying
of the
that
ideas that I have.
God did not bring us on this earth for us to be poor. He says, go and have dominion.
Yes,
be
true.
fruitful and multiply.
Well,
so enjoy, like make money and enjoy it. Okay, quickly, just before Benedict comes, quickly on myjoyonline.com. Eastern Regional Security Council pays tribute to DCOP Awene. National security terror threats to Ghana. Oh, okay. Am I going in reverse? Patrick Gomez. Okay. Terror threat to Ghana credible. So the National Security Council has called for public vigilance, revealing Tuesday Ghana faces a credible terrorist threat. Let's begin to have a conversation on this as well. They said we should be watchful. Bukom Banku caged for assault. A maverick boxer and notorious street fighter Bukom Banku has been detained after 3 ladies lodged a complaint of assault against him. I'm sure Benedict Owusu has got a lot more details on this. Stay with us. There was some Champions League action. What's there? Benedict has got the details. He comes up next with detailed sport. You're watching the AM show. Please forgive us if we didn't read your message, but we will come back and share a lot more with you.